So this is Caroline Fassett from NJ.com. Joining me for this video interview today is Richie Van Houten, the owner of UFC Gym in Hoboken. Together we're going to discuss what this past year has looked like for him and UFC Gym, and particularly how his business has been impacted by the pandemic. So Richie, let's start there. What has changed for UFC Gym since COVID-19 hit in mid-March?
First off, hey Caroline, thanks for having me. Yeah, it's been a lot. I mean, last year we were doing great numbers. Membership was on the climb, continued to be on the climb. We've been the longest standing business in the Hoboken waterfront, going on I think our 15th year in business. And yeah, as soon as the pandemic hit, we had to shut down. So we went from like fully operating at 100% capacity, outgrowing this to a point that we were outgrowing the space. So we can get into that later about my next move, but I was already looking to do something else because we were outgrowing the space, and we had to shut down. So we kind of pivoted and started doing a lot more like online classes, just strictly for our members. We were doing 3 live classes, for them on a private Instagram account to kind of keep our community together and keep everyone like sane at home, trying to stay fit. But yeah, it's been really tough.
So it's been really tough. What has been the most challenging, that pivot to working online? Has there been any other unforeseen challenges?
I think the uncertainty of what's next, right? So like you go day by day on, hey, okay, maybe next week it's going to open. And at first it starts like, oh, it's only going to be a week. Then it's going to be 2 weeks. Then it's 3 months. Then it's 4 months. Next thing you know, it's 6 months. So like, I think we were just like taking it day by day, doing the best we could each day, by trying to keep everyone together. And then, yeah, I don't know. It's just, it was just like one challenge at a time. Right. And like everything else there's other moving parts going on, with negotiating with our landlords, with figuring out when we're going to come back. And then the uncertainty like of who's going to come back, right? Instructors started kind of doing their own thing outside, and who's going to come back and teach, what members are going to come back. And we also saw kind of like a mass exodus from like Manhattan and Hoboken to like the suburbs where people were like moving. So, yeah.
So give me a refresher. When were you able to reopen for in-person workouts, and how did that go?
So we were able to reopen, I believe, September 8th or around there. I think we decided like September 15th because we just like had to get some stuff in order. And then we were only able to open up at 25% capacity.
Right.
So, my rent's high on the waterfront, and, we're used to like busting out of the seams in our group classes to 25% capacity. So we took half of the heavy bags down. We're operating like minimal classes. You had to wear a mask. So at first I thought the challenge was going to be if people were even going to be able to take a class, a high intensity class, because our classes are very hard. You burn like 1,000 calories a class. Wow. And they're full body, and you're exerting a lot of energy when you're punching the heavy bag, and then we're doing weights. So I thought the biggest challenge was going to be working out with a mask on the whole time. So we kind of got past that, and we noticed like a lot of our members weren't coming back right away. So we just started marketing again and marketing our classes and getting a lot of new members. And we were like back on the rise of starting to get our membership base back up. And then now it's kind of coming back to, we're close to the holidays. Cases are on the rise. People are probably going to be seeing their family around holidays, so they don't want to go out as much, So now we're also seeing like another decline.
Okay. So you actually foresaw my next question. Before, you had talked about a lot of people leaving urban areas. So when you reopened, you initially expected not to have as many clientele, but you said there was actually an increase in the number of people you saw?
Yeah, we started reaching out and marketing more, social media, about our classes. I was in there teaching a lot more, so we were just like, the energy in the gym was great, and the people that are in there working out every day were like just loving it, just being back in community, right? Like you're away from gym, away from people, away from working out in like a class setting for 6 months, and you're working out at home by yourself. So it's like refreshing to get out of the house and to work out and to have community again and see people and the camaraderie and the energy. So yeah, it was really good. Like we were back on like, getting average 40 new members a month for like maybe the past 3 months.
Hmm. But you're starting to see a decline again, you said, with the
Yeah.
rising numbers and cold
Just,
weather.
yeah, like the rising numbers, cold weather. I think the holidays coming up. I think a lot
Yeah,
of people are concerned about, going back to see family. So they want to kind of stay away from being outside as much in those environments where they feel they might be able to get sick.
sure. And so, obviously not all businesses, a lot of businesses have not been able to survive. A lot of gyms have not been able to survive. UFC Gym has. Do you think the worst is over? Do you still see a lot of hard challenges up ahead for you guys?
I still see a lot of challenges, especially around the holidays and the new year with people traveling, uncertainty of like vaccines, who's going to take them, who wants to take them, if it's the cure, if it's going to help this. Um, the one thing I've seen is there's more cases, but they're not as severe right now. I'm not an expert in that field, but from what I've seen, the symptoms are a little bit less. So I don't know. I feel like we're going to have to deal with living with this, right? So, you know, it's uncharted territory for everybody. So we're kind of learning as we go and trying to see like the best procedures. But I always feel like the fitness industry will be there, not just online, but people want to be out and working out, and you're building your immune system up. You're healthy. It's helping you fight off these viruses and bacteria when you're outside and your body's fighting these bacteria outside of the house and environments that you're used to be at, and then you're working out, so you're taking care of your body.
Hmm. On a more personal note, how has the pandemic changed your own perceptions of what it is to be a small business owner?
It's definitely a challenge,
Yeah.
um, but it's what I've always done and known to do. So I also own a real estate company. We have two offices, one in Hoboken. I'm the broker in Montclair office.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, I mean, I've been an entrepreneur for 15 years, small business. So like, I don't see myself ever doing anything else. It's just you have to learn how to pivot, right? So like right now, I'm launching an app for online programs for fitness classes, boxing, which will launch like January 1st on like my personal page. So I'm starting to like venture out and do some other stuff, to try to see what the next move is.
Yeah. So before you just said a lot of this discussion has been about pivoting and how you've had a lot of success in pivoting and adapting. Did you ever fear that you wouldn't be successful in doing that, that UFC Gym might have closed?
I mean, I feel like you always have like obviously that scare or that threat or like that fear, like, oh man, maybe I won't be able to do this, or but I walk in faith, and I always feel that like when I'm passionate about something and I put everything into it, that it's going to succeed. So whether it's UFC Gym or it's my next venture, I just take it day by day and continue to do the best I can, control the controllables, right? Like we can only control what we can control.
Really, that's a really good outlook. And looking to the future, there is hope ahead. A vaccine appears to be somewhat around the corner. I know you said that you think you still have challenges still ahead for you, but how are you feeling? Mostly optimistic? Do you think UFC Gym is really going to be around for the long run?
We'll see. I actually have plans for something else.
Oh,
So have a new gym on the rise, on the up and up are coming. So we're in build out and we're getting stuff planned and prepped, and it's a vision that I've had for a few years. So I started kind of having like getting it going before the pandemic, and I've just been like continued to work on it. So it's going to be like my own branding, not a franchise, an all-in-one hot yoga, boxing, jiu-jitsu, kickboxing, the whole thing. So I'm really looking forward to that, and that's going to open up at like the end of 2021.
oh,
So
so exciting.
yeah, so
Wow. And I'm sorry, is that also going to be in
Now
Hoboken?
knowing like protocols and what's going on with like the future gyms, like I think this will be um, in line with all that, right? Like we'll have online stuff, we'll have in-person stuff, we'll have, it's going to be state of the art. So I'm pretty excited about it. And it's
And
the Hoboken, Jersey City area. Yes.
it'll be Hoboken, Jersey City. Will that also be called UFC Gym? Is it a chain?
It's going to be something else, but I'm going to keep that on the low.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that we're
Stay
uh,
tuned. Stay
this
tuned.
a sneak preview for that. So that's so exciting. So you have big plans on the horizon,
Yeah.
but is UFC Gym sticking around, even though
Yeah.
you have another gym coming?
Yeah. For right now, we're trying to, like I said, take it day by day, continue to keep our community together. People that come to the gym, anyone that wants to come by for a workout, they're awesome workouts. So yeah, we're just going to continue to see what's next. I mean, who knows? I mean, the one thing I learned about this is like we have to cherish each day, right? A lot of people have lost loved ones,
Mhm.
and I think we just need to cherish each day and do the best we can. And who knows what tomorrow brings? We might shut down. We might go for another year. We might go for another 10. But I have some plans for some other stuff in the future, and I'm really excited about that.
Richie, thank you so much. I can't imagine ending the interview on a better note. I so appreciate
Thank
your
you so much
time.
for having me.
Thank you. And thanks for sharing your story with NJ.com and all our
Yeah,
viewers.
my app's coming out, richievanhouten.com. So
Richie.com.
if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see that I'm putting some work into it. So I'm
That's
really
great.
excited about it.
Well, thanks so much.
Thank you, Caroline.